Hey everyone, it's Young Skeleton here again, and in today's video I just wanted to talk about Rairyuu, like his Halloween special version, and Howlett. Uh, a bit of like background information, I guess. Like I'm making this video because it's not something that I saw a lot, but like I've heard like some people say that Halloween Rairyuu was immediately power crept by Howlett, and that's not really the case. Like, Halloween Rairyuu was a unit that came after Howlett and JP, and both units are very strong. And yeah, Rairyuu is countered by Howlett, but again, it's what I try to tell you guys. Like every unit, they come out with counters already. Every unit, if they don't have like a very like obvious counter when they come out, they do have like ways to be played around. Like Super Stern, when he came out, Killfake was already a unit that was in the game, and even though she is not like in her final form yet, in like in the sense that she can't completely counter our slashers yet, we are still missing one piece of gear for her to get like as much slash resist as she can. Like she can still do the job. And like the same thing applies to Raryu and Howlet. They are not units that are impossible to counter, even though they are very strong, and they offer things that a lot of units do not offer. Um, So yes, Halloween, Rairyuu, and Howlett. Their main job is the Rune Knight, which is a new one that's supposed to be like a super spellblade. Um, the the spellblade, they don't have like a lot of range, and the only like attack with a lot of range that they have is taunting spell, and you don't always want like your attacker to pull like aggro towards them. So you have to be smart in how you use taunting spell. You have to make sure that either you have other units that will also pull aggro, or that your the unit that is pulling aggro like can take all of it. Like Ramza is an example of a unit that I'm not really sure if you want to be using taunting spell on him a lot. Again, unless you build the team very specifically for him to use taunting spell, because he's not really a tank. If you use him as a your tank, like you better have units that are really good at cleaning up, because he can't like it's not like Rain or Warrior Flight or Engelbert that can like take 4 or 5 attacks. Like, Ramza can like if he is very tanky, like if you build him as a full tank, he can take like 3 attacks like maximum. Or like if you're building specifically for him to counter one thing, he can take like 4 attacks maybe, but yeah, that's with prep time. And and so like the Rune Knight, the job is a more offensive version of the Spellblade. They still share like the Stone Blade or Stone Ega Blade, the Elemental Blades that have the for instance, Ryu has Stone Blade that has Lightning Eater. And in Ramses' case, he has Banish Blade that has Dark Eater, and so on and so forth. But what it reminds me of is the Ruin Knight, the Super Stern job, which has like Hazard Break and the I forgot what it's called. Let's take a look here. Uh, well, in this case it's called Hazard Spell, but I think it's like Hazard Force or some shit like that, which also consumes HP and raises the attack stat. But yeah, really interesting job with Hazard Slash and Drain Evocation. It's actually my favorite attack just because it increases magic, like it has a buff and like has this slash resistance penetration. I think it is really good for like countering slash resist teams because you can like go with Drain Evocation and like in the second turn you go for Hazard Slash. It is a really interesting combination of attacks and one that Soldier is missing and that I think even Rune Knights are missing. Well, Superstar in the case of Rune Knights. But let's take a look on like Rairyuu specifically, and then on Howlett specifically. I think this was a good, a long enough introduction to like the job and what I want to talk about in the video, and a few tangents that I want on as well. Well, okay, Rairyuu. Rairyuu came like remember guys, he came after Howlett and JP. Maybe I should have made this video talking about Howlett first, but oh well. Uh, maybe let's make this video from a like more global perspective. So what is Rairyuu? He will be our base, right? He's a Rune Knight, so he's a like a magic version of Soldier. But imagine like what I can think of is imagine if a soldier had sub-job warrior, the Zazan main job, and I think Mon's main job is basically warrior with another name. It has different passives, but like the the active skills are basically the same. And well, Paladin is a physical job, but let's think of imagine if a soldier had also warrior as a sub job and not Spellblade, yeah, and also Spellblade as a second main job. That's kind of what Rairyuu is. He's a very offensive character with one sub-job that gives him some defense and another sub-job that also gives him like extra offense, but it's very vanilla. That's kind of what Black Mage is. Uh, I don't really think you'll be running Black Mage on him. I think that most of the time you want him to run Paladin just for the Immortal Spirit buff, or maybe you want him to use Sentinel on longer battles. But yeah, you can also leave what's it called, Blade Bash on, and maybe even Taunting Blade if you want him to pull aggro. And even like I leave Taunting Blade on just because maybe my opponent has like really low defense and like sometimes it's worth for Raryu to use Taunting Blade instead of Hazard Spell. I don't know. Especially while I'm not using a very good sword. Right now I'm using just the Excalibur, and like, after I craft my Lohengrin and my magic Ragnarok, because I only have like Assault Ragnarok, so I just let him rip with the Downing Blade. But it's very interesting to pull aggro away from Rain, which is my other unit that I use him with a lot. Uh, so yeah, it is really, really interesting to see like this specific combination of jobs. Rairyuu also offers like a very interesting defensive Trustmaster, which is the auto revive that you can see like here, zombie transformation. In the current map, I'm not really having a lot of success using that, mainly because I think that the map is too small, so mostly units use one buff, and they don't have enough time to use a second buff. Uh, Even like units that like to stay back, they don't really use a lot of buffs. I have to experiment with Miranda, but I'm fairly sure that in a map that allows my units to cast two buffs, he and his TMR will be much better. Like a team with him, Killfate, and Rain, like for instance. Like he can use uh like the what the fuck? Oh my god, it's falling. I'm retarded, sorry guys. He can use Immortal Spirit and then use Sentinel as he advances, and like Rain can use both the fucking the hate generating ability and zombie transformation, and Killfay can use like her shield and another buff, like maybe Medina's you use Medina's TMR on her, or maybe use Rain's TMR on her, like, whatever. Like be creative. I don't know. But yeah, in a map that only allows you to use like one buff, like consistently, I am not sure if I like him very much. Again, I have to experiment a bit more. Maybe if I use Miranda, I can pull it off, like have one unit cast two buffs, but I'm not sure if I can do it like uh, unless it's a very specific setup on the current map. Um, but it is still a very strong a TMR, because if you have a unit that doesn't have a buff that they want to cast, like again, Miranda might be a winner with this because she can use it. But again, like Miranda, she has, now that I think about it, she has fucking Immortal Spirit. If you use her with Paladin, which I don't think is a bad idea. But the thing is, his TMR on global, unlike in GP, it can be used by anyone. So even though it gives magic, you can like say fuck it, you know, and like give it to a physical attacker. Like just pretend that the magic's not there. It gives HP and accuracy, I believe. Whatever. Another thing that Rairyuu has, and that Howlett does not have, is this master ability that gives like buffs uh, Earth allies. Again, with Killfay, it may not be like that noticeable because most Killfays they go for holy builds. So, but maybe it will be interesting for you to turn your Killfay into Spellblade if you're not fighting evasion builds. Just so like she can use Earth attack more often, and like maybe you're running a like slash attack team. She can get into the slash attack like with daunting spell and like whatever vision card that you use to raise slash attack. I personally have been using the Lilith card. I think it's Path to Revenge. Oh my god. I think it's called Path to Revenge. Or Path to Revenge. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm all here literally almost dozing off. I'm so sleepy. But whatever. You can use that card because it raises defense and it has like a good magic stat and good slash attack. So I've been using that on him, make him a bit more tanky, and I think that should be really strong with a Spellblade Killfay and Rain. So you can like, so everyone gets the slash attack buff, and Killfay gets better use of the earth attack from like Rairyuu, because if she has Holy, 90% of the time she'll just spam Holy. So yeah, I think that Rairyuu is he's a very unique unit in the sense that he's a glass cannon with the ability to be tanky. It's kind of like Delita, but a bit more refined than him. Let's take a look at Hallett to see what he has. He has Rune Knight, Red Mage, and White Mage. Like immediately he's very offensive. Like he's even more offensive because of Red Mage. Gemini's Force is such a powerful ability. While he doesn't really have that immediate thing that like Ryu has, where he can survive a hit, like and even revive, he has Red Mage, which is so good for fighting other mages. If you have never, like, if you have trouble fighting Killfei, bring any fucking Red Mage. Like, if they'll interrupt her so fucking often. I'm not even kidding. Like, Miranda is so good, and this is what I always talk about. And again, I'm gonna enter a tangent here, but like, this is why I always say that Miranda is so powerful. She can one hit Rain if she has Paladin subjob and she casts Daunting Blade on him, and she can like she will interrupt Killfei so much if she has Jamming Thrust. And of course she will have Jamming Thrust. Red Mage is her main job. Also, what's it called? Resistance Break is such an overpowered ability. It destroys Rain so hard. But yeah, I'm sorry. I just could not get over the fact like of how underrated Miranda is. I think she is very strong. So again, not only he has Red Mage, but he also has White Mage. But like, let's take a look. He has like a lot of healing spells and like the buffs and rays, but he does not have Holy or Full Life, which is, I mean, I think he would be straight up busted if he had. Like the like this is so strong. Like again, like I was talking about, this is such an interesting like combo. You can pierce both slash resist and spirit, and he has magic reflex, which is pretty good. Magic commutation for him, I think it's worse than for Halloween Rairyuu, just because he's less tanky overall. But like just the fact that he has access to Jamming Thrust and like Asuna and Cura with Red Mage sub, and if you wanna, you can use him with Curaga and Raise on sub White Mage and Asuna, because I think Asuna is a again an underrated spell just because like of how powerful Agrias is. Well, you won't be, you don't want to run him into Agrias. Like one thing that I forgot to mention, like he also has like okay slash resistance and pretty good magic resistance, but he is weak to fist damage and like projectile damage, which is something to consider. He's like neutral to pierce, but I think that his biggest predators are probably Victora and Agrias. Agrias is probably so good against him, and again, what I was talking about, Agrias being this fucking monster of a unit. Like, such a destructive powerhouse in every way. Like she counters so many strong units. But yeah, like he like Howlett is very strong like to counter Killfei. Like if you're having problems with Killfei, you like you can just bring him. He destroys her in every way possible. He pierces the spirit that she has if she builds spirit. If not, he'll just demolish her. He he pierces. He ignores again. He ignores slash resistance, and he has good sustain for himself. So I think that again both units are different. Holly did not power creep uh, Halloween Rairyuu, and Halloween Rairyuu did not power creep him. They're both different units, and they are both awesome. Like again, oh yeah, another thing that I forgot to mention, like this shit right here is so strong. It's basically uh, what's his name? It's Rain and the Ice Fellow. Let's call him that. The Ice Fellow's ability to dodge any attack. It's basically that, but you can give to anyone, which is exactly like Rarius, which you get a very powerful defensive ability and you put it in a fucking item that you can give to almost anyone. His is specifically made for mages, which is what they were going for with Rairyuu. But again, they made that mistake. But his, I think only mages can equip it. It's a robe, very like restrictive. Like you can't give it to your fucking Engelbert. So I think it is a worse TMR, especially because it consumes HP. But like, but again, it is such a, I don't want to say a niche because it is not like any like specific team that can benefit from Hallett. He can be used in so many different situations, and he's so good. Like, same thing with Halloween Rairyuu. They're both so good in so many situations, and not only that, but I think it's hard to find a situation where they're like actually bad outside of like when they're being specifically targeted. You know, Howlett by Agrias and Raryu by Halloween Leela, which is I think his biggest counter. But yeah, like Howlett, he can counter Kyofei, which is a problem. He is very strong against Raryu, and Raryu he can counter again the Man of the Hour Orlando. So I think it is actually like just a matter or I'm sorry, just a matter of which one do you prefer? Like I don't think any of them is specifically better than the other. And, and I don't know, I just wanted to again talk about these two units because I think they are very special and they'll continue to be used like for a long time. Even Howlett like without this party buff, like he is still used. One thing again that I really like about this game is how well designed I feel everything is, you know, because again things even like long after they have been released they're still being used. I think today as in the day that I'm recording, uh, Myochin he uploaded a video of Eileen like being played at high level arena and that was very fun to watch. Eileen is a unit that I have not pulled yet. I have not been Eileened yet, but I enjoy her, and I'm trying to like make a few units work. My computer, like it's not really bad, but it's not really th that good. I really wanna like record some arena videos, and I'm still messing with the emulator. I wanna turn animations on, but maybe if I have to, I'll just play with the animations off and record a bunch of fights for you guys. I'll try to record like 10 fights Sunday. So yeah, I hope you guys found this again not rant, this talk, I don't know, entertaining. If you have anything to say to add, just drop them in the comments. I'm gonna have a blast reading them, I'm sure. And the next video, I was thinking about talking about Giza, but I'm not sure if I'll have that like much of. I'm not sure if I'll have like a lot of useful information to say. I'm trying to like level Rarius Esper quickly, like to make arena videos of him, so you guys can see uh, like my team and how I use him. I'm planning on using two teams with him, so I don't know. I hope you guys have fun when I upload that. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. See you guys soon. Bye bye.